So today we will be doing a double undercut and stipple on this quote-unquote airsoft 19. Alright, so we have a few tools. Went over most of them that you need in a previous video. So what we have today, Dremel. Every gunsmith's nightmare. Also got wood burning tool, wood rasp, sandpaper, some form of gallon. Did not go over in the previous video, but if you have some kind of tape that you can put over the area that you wish to modify, so that way you can draw it out beforehand, and then maybe have a Sharpie or something like that, so that way you can actually mark it. And before you start cutting and grinding anything, respirator. Alright, we're gonna jump shot this so that way we're not wasting everybody's time. So, like always, make sure there's no ammunition, no loaded magazines anywhere around. Go clear. Clear. So, take it down. Just like the ATF director, squeeze the trigger. Slide off to the side. Go ahead and pop this light off as well. And then we'll get to it. Alright, now that I have that broke down, let's cut the piece of tape. Work on both sides. And then we'll take and draw out the material we want to remove. Make sure that we get both sides lined up nice and well. And once you have that done, take a sharp object and then poke along the lines that you've made. So that way it makes little indentions on the area. And then when you remove the tape, you'll have little dots that will show you where you need to go. I've done this so many times, I don't really need to do that though. I'm going to pause you again. Alright, so mine is actually a variable speed Dremel. I prefer the variable speed over the straight drive because you can actually control how fast you're working. And generally speaking, when it's moving slower, it's a lot easier to run. So a lot easier to control, a lot easier to not mess up as fast. So we're going to jump back real quick and then I'll show you some progress here in a minute. So you want to just take your time, work it a little bit at a time, always double checking, flipping it from one side to another. Just go slow, make sure you're doing it evenly, and just enjoy the process. So just make sure you do it even. Take your time. You're not in a hurry. It would probably be a good idea if you got like a little plastic pellet gun or something to try first before just diving right into it. And then you want to take the sandpaper and kind of take any burb or buildup off the edges. Just kind of work it along as you go. And this is where a Dremel is good, because it can help you get into the depth that you want to without it taking an incredible amount of time. I like to just set the depth in the front edge and on the back edge, and then I'll make it meet in the middle here in a minute. You just want to take that little island hump that we've created out of the middle, working it from both directions, trying to keep the tool flat, try to keep your workpiece flat, and just take your time with it. And I know I've said that a lot, but that's just the main part of it, is just enjoy the process. So a wood rasp has 4 areas: a flat, and a curve, an aggressive, and a not as aggressive. And so I like to use the flat just to kind of level things off. Makes it it makes it a little easier to work with it. So I'll work it from both directions. If you pull a rasp or a file even back and forth, you're only cutting on one side, and so you're rounding off the teeth on your tool when you pull back against the teeth. Just kind of nibble it away. See how I'm just taking it slow? I'm not trying to be aggressive with it. I'm trying to keep everything flat and smooth as I'm progressing through it. once you've got it worked down close to where you want to get it, you don't want to go all the way to depth right away, but you want to get fairly close. And then come back in with a piece of sandpaper and then just try to work it in all directions, so side to side, front to back, and then go diagonal from each different direction, so that way you can kind of keep it flat and level as much as possible. Now this is where having a variable temperature, either soldering iron or a wood burning tool like this one, I like to set it on high but not maximum, and then make a border line around the outside perimeter of the area that I want to work in, just making small dots. And you can use different tips on these. I like the texture that the small dot makes. It's more aggressive, and it's easier for me to actually get a good firm grip with. But they have different attachments to where you can have scales or after you have your perimeter, then fill in the center area. If the dots you're making are too deep, you can actually turn the tool sideways and just kind of smush it back in. But it's better to just start off with low heat until you figure out what temperature works good for you, and then just work it in like as you go. Or different basket patterns, and there's all kinds of different attachments you can get for them.
Now after I finish filling in this area here, I'm only going to do a slight bit of texture on the back edge of the finger grip, on that middle finger area, like this. Because if you go too far forward on it, it'll be really rough and abrasive on your knuckle. Well, I hope this has been helpful for someone. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And as always, all for gun, gun for all.